Hey folks, and welcome to part 9 of Super Mario World, where I've just tackled the Chocolate Fortress in the last part. I'm gonna see what's going on in Chocolate Island 4. This one has these really weird looking platforms like the one I'm just riding where, I don't know, they just always felt really out of place to me. Like the sprite work just looks a little bit different. I don't know though, that's just me. I also don't really care much for this level because this one's also kind of difficult to get through. Of course, I don't care for difficult stuff. I'll go ahead and see what's going on down here though, because there's a bunch of fancy bonus stuff you can get. But I'm just gonna wait for a split second so I can get the power up that I need. Which it looks like I failed to do because it was on the layer above, but that's okay. At least I got a fire flower. Never mind. Oh, this isn't going too well at all, is it, folks? Yeah, it looks like I didn't have to worry about that Koopa football player. But I didn't get any bonus point tape out of it. Which at this point, I don't really care about any of that stuff. I mean, I've already maxed out the lives counter. What am I going to do with that? However, this Yoshi over here will be pretty useful. And I will try to go ahead and get that, that fire flower power up. And I will get that cape feather as well. I'm going to just kind of launch up here, see what's going on for a second. There are tons of shells passed back there, but I just said heck with it. Of course, more of the Charge and Chuck. It's the proper name of those. And I was able to get 20 points, so take that for what you will. And here we have Castle number 6. This is Koopa Kid number 6, Wendy Koopa. Wendy O. Koopa, I mean, who was in Super Mario 3. Also, her name is a reference to singer of the Plasmatics, Wendy O. Williams. And some of the Plasmatics music's pretty good. Just early 80s hardcore punk rock. Pretty good stuff, if I do say so myself. But anyways, this is Castle number 6, and this one can be kind of tricky to get through because you got these spike things. And those things always used to scare the crap out of me as a kid, and with good reason, because if you're not careful, you can get stuck and get smushed. I believe these are the enemies that are actually called Sparks, or Sparkies. As it would make perfect sense since they actually do look like giant sparks. Whenever I was a kid, I always used to think sparks looked really cool, and I always used to like seeing anything radiate sparks. Like whether it was just dragging a piece of metal off the ground, or any like piece of equipment or car that was dragging sparks. I don't know, it just always looked cool to me. These enemies look pretty alright, I guess. I definitely want to look out for them, as they will actually give way to the next Koopa battle. And this one's similar to Lemmy's Castle. Actually, it's pretty much the same, except for a couple of pipe platforms being in different locations. But all you gotta do once again is just deliver 3 bonks, bonk, and all will be right with the Super Mario World. I failed to do it there. Oh yeah, you also got 2 of those fire things bouncing at you as opposed to 1. So I guess the difficulty is amped up just a little bit. Just a smidge. But yeah, folks, once again, another Yoshi egg has been rescued. Another castle has been taken out. I always like this one the most because Mario just takes out a castle with a freaking squeegee. Of course, I can't think about squeegees without thinking about how I used to use them in my factory days all the time. Like, if we had spare time during when we were running machines, we'd have to walk around the factory plant with the squeegee and just mop stuff up. But sometimes my friend would always walk up to one of our coworkers and just stick the squeegee up his ass. And he'd jump like 10 feet up in the air and start screaming. Like, it probably wasn't the best thing to do, but we had a lot of fun back then. It was all in the name of fun. I mean, working at that place was misery elsewise. You had to have fun back then some way, somehow. But here we got the sunken ghost ship, folks. Now, I feel like this is a direct continuity thing from Super Mario 3, as you had the airships. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like a sunken airship from Super Mario 3 that has crash-landed on Dinosaur Land. That'd be pretty neat. Got a couple of circles of Boo to deal with, and I'm just sitting over here waiting for my moment. And then from here you just fall down, and you would think it would just fall down to your death in the abyss, but no, you just fall down to the abyss, and somewhere toward the end is the end of the level. It wasn't up there, by the way. And if I really wanted to, I could just hang out here and get a ton of coins, which I got a few there. Ooh. Got my Yoshi back, though. And this question mark orb, the orb that I am pondering, it pretty much brings even more continuity from Super Mario 3, as, you know, the orbs at the end of the Boom Boom battles in Super Mario 3. And then you got the ship here. But anyways, this is the 7th and final world in the game, folks. This is the Valley of Bowser. And in this part, I will go ahead and knock out a few levels in the Valley of Bowser. And it wasn't until I started recording this that I realized you could eat those Monty Mole enemies. Those big folk with the sunglasses. As they wear their sunglasses at night, so I can't. I know. I really don't want copyright stuff going against me here, folks. As much as I like to sing, I need to try to save it for the original material. And the car karaoke. Can't tell you how much car karaoke I do. And there's Pac-Man looking things back there. Of course, another Moon 3 up. I believe there was originally supposed to be a 5 up in Super Mario World, but it was scrapped. Although the sprites can still be found, or the assets can still be found somewhere in the files of the game. A little bit of education I learned from fellow YouTubers. Unfortunately, Yoshi can't eat the charging chucks, but it's still pretty cool that he can eat the Monty Mole. Makes things a million times easier, if I do say so myself. But yeah, you gotta bounce on the charging chucks a few times, and eventually, hey, 26 points. See, what's that gonna bring the total to? 53. I'm alright with that. That's gonna bring things over to the Valley of Bowser 2. This one's not too terribly bad, although, you know, this is one of those ones that tests your patience, folks. As you gotta deal with these platforms here that you see rising and falling. They become a bit more prevalent in the later parts of this one, as well as having 2 different exits to deal with. But no need to worry here, folks. It's a matter of how long I can keep a hold of Yoshi. Do I keep him through the easier route to take here? Actually, yeah, that's exactly what I do this time around. And this is the last of the Yoshi bonus wing things that you can find in Super Mario World. I just now noticed that when you get regular coins, it doesn't seem to add to your scoreboard total. The dragon coins do, though. And that red dot once again indicating that I still have one more exit to take through here. Now this one's a little bit trickier to get through, and it's a lot harder to get through when you have a Yoshi, so it just seemed like it'd be a lot easier to just go ahead and ditch Yoshi for a moment. Go ahead and just go through the regular, well, not completely regular exit of the game, but the keyhole exit. And I just managed to keep getting hit, but this is probably another one of my lesser favorite levels in Super Mario World, folks. This one just doesn't do it for me. Although there is this nice power-up block that I didn't know about for the longest time, but pretty cool that it's there. I'll go ahead and get it, utilize it. But yeah, you got this freaking section here that's kind of annoying to deal with, depending on how your patience level is, and you just kind of gotta wait for it to rise and fall, just like many of things throughout history. Dun 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 dun. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, it's hard to believe that I'm already at the tail end of this game, folks. This has been a pretty quick little adventure, in my opinion, whether it's been playing this game or recording it. But yeah, Super Mario World's a game that brings back a ton of memories, and this is another... Actually, no, This is one of those, the secret keyhole exit's one of those things that I discovered on the Super Nintendo version. As is a couple of the secret exits coming up a little bit later in the Valley of Bowser. But for the time being, I just need to get the heck out of here. And there's that tube pipe that I need to go through. Then you'll just want to bring that rising platform. You gotta stand on it for it to bring it up there like that. Make sure you don't get smushed. And then just go up top to the far left here. And there's another keyhole, which will bring us to the Valley Fortress, folks. Now this one's kind of like Wendy's Castle. You gotta deal with these spiky things that'll show up and can smush you if you're not careful. You gotta be really careful here, folks. Of course, you got more of the dry bones and whatever those other enemies are called. Ooh. Of course, I'm managing to get hit a bunch, but see, the thing about this fortress is here. This is another one of those things that I didn't discover until I'd already been playing this game a bunch. For the longest time, I wasn't even sure if you could access this fortress, because I didn't know where the key was in Valley of Bowser 2. So I just thought it was one of those things that was just kind of there for decoration, and then I discovered, hey, you can actually access that. That's pretty cool. If I can manage to get there without getting yeeted. And this will be the final Reznor battle of the game, folks. Valley Reznor. Oh. Looks like this one's gonna heat up a little bit. See what's gonna happen here, folks. Ah, that's no problem. I've already got 1.5 million points so far. It's gonna do it for the final Reznor enemies. And that's gonna do it for part 9 of Super Mario World, folks, and I hope you all tune in for the finale.